Hey everyone! On this month's edition of Live in the Sunroom, we welcome native El Pasoan Valerie Ponzio to the Sunroom. She's performing 2 songs, including her brand new single. Now, Valerie has been a musician pretty much all her life. Valerie made a huge splash when she was a contestant on the nationally televised show The Voice. She became a member of Blake Shelton's team on season 12 of The Voice. Valerie and her fiance Mike Mijares recently relocated to Nashville. That's where they're working on new original music, and that's where they wrote her new single. Now, we will get to hear Valerie's version of the Johnny Cash classic Ring of Fire. That's the song that made a huge impression on The Voice. But we begin with her brand new single, which was just released. It's called Love Me When You're Lonely. Valerie Ponzio performs live in the Sunroom.
Did you go out with your friends tonight? Or a few makers on the rocks? Did you stay out till closing time, hoping you wouldn't go home alone? 'Cause I see 7 numbers on my screen, and I know what that means. You only call me when you're drinking, drunk out from a cab, only want me when it's 2 a.m. and you're thinking about the past. Oh, reminiscing, 'cause you're missing, diving into me like a free fall, baby. I know, you only love me when you're lonely. There was a time I would have picked up, I'd turn on the porch light and leave the door unlocked. Your lips on mine, fingers threaded through my hair. But when the daylight shines on your side of the bed, you ain't there. You only call me when you're drinking, drunk out from a cab, only want me when it's 2 a.m. and you're thinking about the past. Oh, reminiscing, 'cause you're missing, diving into me like a free fall, baby. I know, you only love me when you're lonely. You only love me when you're lonely. You only love me when you're lonely, yeah. 'Cause I see 7 numbers on my screen, and I know what that means. Oh, yeah. When it's 2 a.m. and you're thinking about the past. Oh, reminiscing, 'cause you're missing, diving into me like a free fall, baby. I know, you only love me when you're lonely. Oh, you only love me when you're lonely, and you love me, yeah, you love me. Ooh, oh, yeah, whoa, oh, oh.
You know, that's such a great song. What's the story behind the new single?
Yes, I am very passionate about being a woman and being able to talk about how the struggles of being a woman and relationships. And so this song, I wanted there to be a very raw and honest perspective, but I wanted to also have that empowerment, because I feel like sometimes, like with friends I've had, when you're walking through a situation where you realize that someone isn't valuing you the way that you value them, it's like kind of humiliating actually to finally realize that. So this song is about that moment where you realize my value is not the same. And But as humiliating and as heartbreaking as that can be, I feel like what I wanted to come through in the song is it's actually empowering, because I'm calling it and I can identify it. And I didn't want, in this song, I didn't want there to be an immediate solution, like, oh, well, it's over now and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, because that doesn't always come immediately. Sometimes you need to just find strength in that you've identified this situation is not what I was hoping it would be with this person. And I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know that this was what's happening. And so I feel like that honest, raw, kind of hopelessness, but determination at the same time in Love Me When You're Lonely totally comes out. And I feel like I've been playing it at my shows, and the response I get from people is the exact response that I was hoping for.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning, Valerie. How did you get your start?
Well, I've been singing since I was really young. In elementary school, actually, I would enter all of the talent shows and sing like Disney songs. And just digging through footage of me as a child, I'm realizing that I just always wanted to do this. Like, this is no accident. I was on a warpath for music since I was like 7 years old. So I would sing, at school, I'd sing at church. My mom's a beautiful singer. And so my whole family is actually really musical. My sister's an amazing singer and songwriter, and my brother, he passed away 5 years ago, but he was an amazing musician, and he taught me so much. He taught me how to play guitar. He taught me how to write my first song, actually. So it's just been something that's been in my blood, and I have just not been able to stop since I was a young girl. And it's kind of evolved and taken on different shapes and sizes, but I'm here and really enjoying being a Latina in country, and so that's my trajectory right now with music. But yeah, it's just been in me since I was really young.
So at what point do you say, hey, I'm going to try to get on The Voice?
Well, so The Voice reached out to me, actually.
Okay.
But I still did have to make a decision to go for it, because I still had to audition before the blind auditions. So they reached out to me, and it was at an interesting time that they reached out, because me and my fiance, we were in an Americana duo, and we were touring the country. So we had just finished our West Coast tour, and I think we were in between going east, doing our Texas and then going east, and I got an email, and I was like, oh man, how funny. Like, we had just packed up our bags and said, we're doing this, we're putting it out to God and the universe, and we're taking music very seriously now. This is our 110% life. And so then The Voice reached out, and I was like, that's so funny. Like, when you kind of just put it out there, then other things happen. And I was a little torn, because I was like, all right, well, I'm on this path right now, but I just decided, you know what, let's go for it. I think let's just do it. And so I went to an audition in LA, and luckily it didn't cut too much into our tour, but I did one audition, and then I think they flew me out for a second audition, and then you go to the blind auditions, and I'm really happy I did. It's been a really good thing. I didn't know, though, like, going into it, I wasn't sure, because it's like you have to weigh all those options, like it could go sour and maybe really discourage me, or it could actually turn out the way it did, which I'm very blessed and I'm very fortunate to have turned out the way it did, and to have so much support from my hometown and from my family and my friends and fans. So yeah.
Describe for me, if you can, at that moment, you're on national TV and all four chairs turn around.
It was the most insane experience, and I say it, like, no matter what happens with my career, if I get like superstardom, nothing will ever compare to the blind audition. Like, I don't care what arenas you play or whatever, there is something insane and terrifying and magical that happens in a blind audition. So yeah, when the chairs turned, I said it after, when you're bantering with the coaches, I was like, I can't feel my hands, and I really couldn't feel my hands. I was like, what is happening? But it was an amazing experience. When Gwen turned, she was the first chair that turned, I felt like everything was going to be okay. So I just remember thinking, this is all I needed, and I've loved Gwen ever since I was very young. And so after her chair turn, I was enjoying it a little bit more. I mean, I was still super stressed, but there was a little bit of ease, and honestly, it felt like I had to keep telling myself as I was performing, and as I was talking to them, like, I'm not watching TV right now. Like, this is me here. But you almost feel like you're in a dream. Like, it feels so strange. And I really had to tell myself, like, you're not watching this at home. This is you on this stage talking to these superstars. So it was terrifying and amazing at the same time.
I'm real proud of Val, and from watching her up on that stage and feeling the terror of seeing everything and watching the 4 chairs turn to, after the show, picking right back up and just saying, okay, here we go, let's do this. And just, we're moving to Nashville, we're writing songs, we're doing some, regional touring, we're in El Paso, we're in LA, we're just working it. And I'm like, so I'm real proud of her for what she's been doing this past year. It's been awesome to watch from the behind the scenes.
Mike, the two of you recently relocated to Nashville. What's it been like for you as a musician to work in Nashville?
In every big market, wherever you are with music, there's always a thing. And so, LA has its thing and New York has its thing. In Nashville, the thing there is the song. That is if you ask anybody, what's the most important thing? It's the song. And so we as musicians and songwriters spend a good amount of time writing. I mean, you're supposed to at least write maybe like 1 song a day, if you're signed to a publishing deal, and so we've been just writing up a ton, and you co-write with other people who are songwriters, and so that's what we've been doing. We've been just linking up with a lot of amazing writers from all over, from Canada, from Florida, right, and just Nashville, everywhere. We've just been trying to find people who are like-minded, and we can just and so we've just been writing up a storm, and it's been really amazing, and we've been playing out there a little bit, but we've been spending most of our time writing.
So Valerie, tell me about being a Latina in country music.
Well, being a Latina in country is something that I've been very passionate about. I love country music, and I love where I come from. And country music is storytelling. And El Paso, this border town that I'm from, is a country-loving town. So I just felt like I want to be true and honest to what I am and what I love. And there's not a lot of, like any representation of Latinas and Hispanics in country music, but so many love country music. So it's been an interesting journey. And honestly, moving to Nashville, and not even before moving to Nashville, like just being on The Voice and clearly being Latin and picking Blake and saying I do country, even that in and of itself, people see you and they're like, oh, okay, you're not what country usually looks like. So making that stance even then had already started changing things for me. And moving to Nashville, I wasn't sure how that would go over, because it's just, you don't see Latin people in country music. But luckily, I was so surprised to see that Music City, Nashville, is very, very open to this, to a Latin perspective in country, and I was actually really pleasantly surprised. So I think people are really ready to hear a Latina perspective in country music.
Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery rain, bound by wild desire. I fell into a ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. flames, they went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. Oh, la 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 la, yeah. The taste of love is sweet when hearts like ours meet. I feel for you like a child, yeah, yeah. Oh, but the fire went wild. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and those flames, they went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire. I fell into a burning ring of fire. I went down, 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 and those flames, they went higher, and it burns, burns, burns. The ring of fire, the ring of fire, the ring of fire, yeah. Ooh.